beautiful people, and welcome back to this new YouTube video. This video is about my 6 tips when going through anorexia recovery or eating disorder recovery. This is 6 tips that I would have loved to have while going through this, so I figured it might help you too. Without further ado, let's start. And my first tip of all of them is to find sense. What do I mean by this? It is to find a purpose, a reason to get through recovery. For me, for example, that was my horse that I was gifted when going through recovery. And this gave me a purpose, a reason to get better. You know, I had the feeling, okay, I want to get my life force back because I have something else that my thoughts are turning around and that I want to have the force and vitality to do. So that was a really helpful thing. What do you do if you don't know what that could be for you? Which oftentimes happens. We don't know, well, what is actually, what could give us purpose? What I find really helpful is the question, what would I regret most that I haven't done yet if I die right now? Ask yourself this question and you'll find things that you really strive to do in life, or that you really want to have, see, whatever it is. It gives you a reason, it gives you a purpose. So that is really, really important, and it will give you energy. My second tip is to relearn self-love. Why do I say that? I think the most important thing when we go through recovery is to create resources. It is to create a new power to get to a healthy body and to a healthy mind, obviously. And this can only happen if the power comes from within us. And the thing that is the most powerful is to like yourself and to find things that you feel good about in yourself. And what my tip is with that is to write down 20 things. It doesn't have to be every day, but all of the days where you feel like it. Write down 20 things that you are super proud of on this day that you did. Whatever it is, it can be really small things, like getting out of bed, or I went out to watch the sunset. I don't know, I talked to a stranger, whatever it is, everything that makes you proud of yourself. Can be, I was hugging a tree. All of these things. And it doesn't have to be a big achievement, because that's what we want to get away from. We don't want to only be proud of big achievements. It can, the magic lies in the small things. So that can be a very helpful thing. And what I want to remind you, like when we're talking about self-love, is to be gentle with yourself. Because most of the people dealing with anorexia or eating disorders are perfectionists. I'm perfectionist too. And we have to learn to let go of the fear, because perfectionists are fear people. We fear to not be good enough. We fear that our actions or achievements, that they're not enough. That is why they always have to be perfect, to be accepted, and to, fit in, for example. And like one part of the self-love, and I am still in the learning process too there, is to really be gentle and to step back from the perfectionist level. Also in recovery, it cannot all go perfect. There are ups and downs, always. With that, we're coming to the third tip, which is a really big tip. It is change thinking patterns, and by that, change your reaction patterns. How do we do that? We start noticing emotions that are coming up. We start to notice when we get fearful and when we get angry. These are the most important in that case. Because what will happen when the emotions of fear, especially fear or anger, come up are patterns that we have internalized. We're linking things together. So we're making a quick example. You're invited to, Leo's party, and the first thing you feel is anxiousness, fear. Oh my god, this party is like the possibility of going to this party is overwhelming me. So, and then what I want you to do is to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that could happen to me? What is the worst thing that could happen to me if I go to the party? Well, there's going to be a lot of food, and I either have to eat it and will feel bad about it, or I won't and people will judge me. And then I want to ask that you ask yourself again, what could be the worst thing happening to me if I'm eating the cake? Well, it could be that I gain weight and that I am not happy about what my body looks like. And what would be the worst thing with that? Well, maybe other people wouldn't accept me. And what would be the worst thing with that? I'll be outcasted of society. What would be the worst thing with that? I'm alone, I'll die. And most of the time that's where the question is leading us. What do we want? Why do we do this? Why do we ask ourselves, what is the worst thing? It is to see how our thoughts are linked and how there are patterns between eating a piece of cake and dying, or not eating a piece of cake and dying. And if you do this several times, your nervous system will start to respond differently. You'll be invited to a party, you'll breathe in, the question's coming up, and your nervous system is not reacting as strong as it did before. So that is a really good start, because we want to calm our nervous system. And then we come to the fourth tip. The fourth tip is to challenge yourself. So it is the next step of the third point of just asking yourself and seeing the linking patterns, but it's actually changing the reaction, changing by that our comfort zone. So what we want to do, we've asked ourselves several times, what could be the worst thing? Our nervous system isn't reacting as crazy as before. So at some point, we want to go to the party. We want to go there and challenge ourselves. What is happening by that? It might be uncomfortable, but your nervous system is already calmer, so you'll be able to go there, maybe. You might not be able to eat the cake, but that's not the point. The point is to slowly change our comfort zone. Because at the moment, the comfort zone is to stay home and to not eat. But it's not a healthy comfort zone for our body and for our mind. Still, it is our comfort zone. And we can only change it if we challenge ourselves, and the challenges become slowly the comfort zone, the more often we do them. Now you want to still go slow and go gentle with that, because otherwise what can happen is that you'll snap. If you, and perfectionists, people that are in recovery tend to do this, I tended to do this. If you go with the head through the wall and you'll take on all of the challenges, at some point your nervous system is going to be very overwhelmed and it'll just snap and go right back to the most comfort zone that you had, which is probably not a very healthy place. So we want to take it slow and not go crazy, okay? And now we're coming to the 5th tip that I have for you, and that is ground yourself. Remember, our nervous system, when we're especially going through an eating disorder, anorexia, is on its edge the whole time. It's anxious because you're in a state of malnourishment and your body wants to save you, but it kind of can't. And that is why everything's very chaotic and very stressed. So we want to stress down a little bit. How do we do that? I'll do another video on grounding yourself, but for now, what I found the most helpful at these times is to go out in nature. Get yourself out there, get your shoes off, and put those feet into the earth. Because we want to get the earth irons that are calming us. And by that, what I found very helpful too, if you walk without shoes, you'll have to concentrate very, very much on where you walk, especially if it's a ground that's not like, straight and all easy. You'll have to concentrate and you will think a lot less. So this can be very grounding. Also, hugging trees, for example, is a very grounding thing. If you're all up with your nerves, go out, get that fresh air in, and get into your body instead of your head. And now, my 6th tip. This is kind of a tip that is super helpful if you're really, really on the edge. At least for me, when you are desperate and you're so tired and you don't know where to go with all of this shit anymore, what I found very, very helpful is to actually ask someone to take some weight off your shoulders. So it is believing in whoever, Jesus, God, the God of the cats, Ganesha, I don't know, whoever you believe in the moments where there is no hope for whatever reason, this can really feel like someone's taking on some weight, someone's going through with you, someone who's not telling you what to do, asking you to do something, but he's just there and he's just helping. And I found that I got in a very, very peaceful state in these moments when I asked someone to take off this weight. This was my 6 tips. There is still something that I want to add. You are the person that is staying with you till the end. You will be the one person that goes with you through it all. And how on earth do we want to spend a lifetime with someone we don't like? How on earth? It's just not a very nice thing to go through if you don't like the person you're spending time with. So I really want to implore you to, however you can grow your self-love and however you can grow the acceptance of yourself, go down that road, because you'll be there till the end. And if you're there with your best friend, you'll have a hell of a nice time. I hope that you might take something with you from this video and some tips will help you. If you have another video ideas, if you want to hear about experience of me or whatever, just let me know down below in the comments and I'll see you there in the next video. Bye!